Veterans Day ceremony. Thank you for joining us. It's wonderful to see everyone here, and I am truly honored to speak on such a meaningful occasion. Today we gather to honor the men and women who have served our nation, to remember their sacrifices, and to recognize the immense courage it takes to protect our freedom. Your presence here shows deep appreciation for their service and reminds us that without our veterans, we would not be able to enjoy the liberties we cherish today. Would you please rise for the presentation of the colors and remain standing through the posting of the colors. Today, our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by our kindergartners.
Up, out. Face. Forward. March. Forward. March. Shoulder guard. Right. Face. Forward. March.
You may be seated.
As you entered the banquet hall this afternoon, you may have noticed a small table and place of honor. It is set for one. This table is our way of symbolizing the fact that the members of our profession of arms are missing from our midst. They are commonly called POWs or MIAs. We call them brothers. They are unable to be with us this afternoon, and so we remember them. This table set for one is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against his oppressors. Remember, the tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. Remember, the single red rose displayed in a vase reminds us of the families and the loved ones of our comrades in arms who keep their faith awaiting their return. Remember, the yellow ribbon tied so prominently on the vase is reminiscent of the yellow ribbon worn upon the lapel and breast of thousands who bear witness to their unyielding determination to demand a proper accounting of our missing. Remember, the candle is lit, symbolizing the upward reach of their unconquerable spirit. Remember, a slice of lemon is on the bread plate to remind us of their bitter fate. Remember, there is salt upon the bread plate, symbolic of the family's tears as they wait. Remember, the glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us this night. Remember, the chair is empty. They are not here. Remember, all of you who have served with them and called them comrades, who depended upon their might and aid, and relied upon them, for surely they have not forsaken you. Remember, until the day they come home. Remember,
Good afternoon and welcome again to Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond High School. It's an honor to have all of our veterans, families, community members, and students, from our youngest kindergartners all the way to our students that are ready to go out into the world in just a few short months, especially here with our veterans and their families. Today is not a day off for us. It's a day on. A day we choose to spend learning about, reflecting on, and honoring the service and sacrifice of the men and women who have worn our nation's uniform. Our students have been engaged this week and last week and today to help them understand what this day truly means and why it matters. I'd like to take a moment to talk about something that has become very personal to several of us here, especially to 4 of our families at Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond High School. This past year, the honor flight took on a new meaning for some of us. In June, Mrs. Hart and her father, Robert Quigley, who served in the Vietnam era, along with Mr. Seal and his father, Dan Seal, also a Vietnam veteran, traveled on the honor flight. Then in September, Ms. Redfern's good friend's father, Mike Daly, also a Vietnam veteran, and my own father took part in this powerful experience. For those of you who may not be familiar, The Honor Flight is a program that brings veterans to Washington, D.C. to visit the memorials dedicated to their service. It began with World War II veterans, ensuring that they could see the monument that had been built in their honor, and it continues today for veterans of all eras. It's more than a trip. It's a long overdue thank you, filled with recognition, respect, and a homecoming that many have never received. We are fortunate to have Mr. Seal and Mr. Daly with us today, and my father is joining us online. Like Mrs. Hart and Mr. Seal and Miss Redfern, I have the privilege of being a part of this trip as they experience this well-deserved honor. On a personal note, although my father would say this is not about him, but today is about so many that gave their ultimate sacrifice, I want to share a little bit about him. He was a Specialist 5, which is now equivalent to a sergeant, according to my understanding, in the artillery. He served in the 1st Battalion, 5th Artillery, Bravo Battery, 1st Infantry Division. He had many roles, but eventually worked in the fire direction control. He was usually on the radio or studying a map, determining where that unit should aim. His unit moved constantly between Cambodia and Saigon, always near the Ho Chi Minh Trail. His story, like so many who served, he missed much at home and saw more than any human should. Growing up, my dad didn't talk much about his service, if at all. What my sister, my brother, and I learned often came quietly from my mom. In school, I learned from history classes how Vietnam veterans were treated when they returned home. And standing at that airport this fall, watching veterans return from their honor flight, hearing the cheers and seeing the emotion on their faces, I was reminded how powerful it is to simply say, we see you, we remember, we are grateful, and we are thankful. A meaningful part of military service is staying connected with loved ones at home. This tradition continues on the honor flight during their return flight with something called mail call. This year, each of us, Mrs. Hart, Mr. Seal, Miss Redfern, and myself, learned something heartbreaking. Some veterans don't receive any mail at all during the mail call. None. So today, after the program, our students from Arthur Grade School and the high school will be writing letters for veterans that they will never meet, but whom we want to honor with our gratitude and appreciation. We want every veteran to know we see you, we remember you, we are grateful, and we are thankful. Across our nation, over 40 million Americans have worn our nation's uniform, serving, sacrificing, and standing in harm's way for people they would never know, for you and I. That kind of courage deserves to be remembered. To the veterans with us this afternoon, and to those who could not be here, we thank you. Your service, whether for World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf, Afghanistan, or in today's armed forces, has shaped freedoms we enjoy. And to the families of our veterans and our service members, your sacrifice does not go unnoticed. We see you as well. Your strength, your support, and the empty chairs the families have endured are all part of this country's story. Students, I want you to look around this room. These individuals sitting in these chairs made a commitment to protect people they would never know, including all of us sitting here today. We honor them not only with our ceremonies and letters, but by the way we live every single day, with gratitude, respect, appreciation, and kindness. Veterans and families, thank you for spending the day with us. We are grateful for your service, and we are committed to remembering. and Caroline join me for a second, please? I told you I was going to pick on you. Each year, 2 outstanding seniors are honored with the DAR and SAR Good Citizen Award, recognizing students who embody the highest ideals of citizenship. As we gather today to honor our veterans and their service, it's especially fitting to announce this year's recipients. These 2 seniors are exceptional and are being honored as the DAR and SAR Good Citizens. They were chosen by our faculty and staff as they consistently demonstrate dependability, leadership, patriotism, and service to others. They live these qualities every day, showing honesty and reliability, stepping up to lead and making tough decisions, supporting important causes, and putting the well-being of others first. They do the right thing when no one's looking and even when it's hard. I am pleased to announce that the 2025 DAR SAR winners are Anna Rollins and Caroline Van Alstall. They will be recognized at a luncheon in February.
It is an honor to introduce our veterans here today. Stand if you are able when your name is called, then be seated. If your name is not called, please stand. Please hold all applause until the end. Alan Foreman, Kathy Graham, Steve Graham, Rich Helton, Brent Hirschberger, Dan Seal, Wooly Kaiser, Keith Carrillo, Patrina Jacobs, Nolan Lee, Mike Daly, James Kazel, Ryan Han, Hadley Fabert, Shane Roque, Gary Shuck, Craig Davis, Danielle Davis, Steve Davis, George Clark, Drew Lawson, Chad Morphy, Joel Martin, Randy Rafferty, Jamie Rafferty, Terry Furchow, Russell Wright, Robert Bergner, Larry Price, Jamie Simpson, and Howard Cam.
Marines. Army. Coast Guard. usher forward. Navy.
It is my honor to introduce our currently serving service members here with us today. Please stand if you are currently serving our country. We would also like to take a moment to recognize that we currently have 30 ALAH alumni serving in the military.
I'm here today to recognize not only all of you who are here as veterans, but we have a special treat. Sometimes we don't realize how history can make a difference in our lives. We have with us today a surviving member of our World War II veterans, one who not only served during that war that ended fascism and stopped the Nazis, but personally was there when the concentration camp Dachau was liberated. I want all of the students who are here to realize that in just 15 to 20 years, at least by the time you have children, they're going to be amazed that you not only had the ability to honor the veterans from Vietnam and from the Korean War, but that you personally got to thank someone who fought in World War II to keep this country free. And while I know that he has said over and over again, I just did my job, all of those guys I served with were the heroes. Today I'd like to honor Wally Kistler, who's here with us today. Thank you all very much, and also I'd like to just spend one moment just a little bit off script. All of us are thankful for your service. I know that many of you I've known for years, and I've tried the best I can, words don't do it justice, to say thank you for your service. But I know that many of you are in the same position that I'm in. One of the servicemen that I would have been thanking today was Army Sergeant Clarence Davis, my father. We lost him in January. And I know that many of you are thinking of veterans who we don't have with us anymore. So if we could just take a moment and have a moment of silence to thank them as well, and to thank God for the opportunity to have had the time we had with them. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, and fellow students. Our guest speaker today is my dad, Master Sergeant Craig Davis, who served in the United States Army for 22 years. My dad enlisted in 2001 and started his career as a military police officer with the 233rd Military Police Company in Springfield, Illinois. My dad served in the invasion into Operation Iraqi Freedom for 14 months, from 2003 to 2004. He deployed right after he graduated high school from Sullivan. Throughout my dad's career, he has traveled to many places. In 2008, he switched and became part of the ground-based mid-course defense program, which he remained a part of throughout the rest of his career. We have lived in Alaska, California, Colorado, and Illinois. My dad helped Space and Missile Defense Command, which is a 3-star command, and Northern Command, which is a 4-star command, with development and implementation of tactics that help defend the entire United States and territories from incoming nuclear missiles. This remains one of the few jobs in the United States military that operates 24/7, 365 days a year, and is a zero-fail mission. At the end of his career, my dad was the battalion operations non-commissioned officer in charge, in which he ensured readiness for over 300 soldiers. He doesn't like talking about his awards, but some of them include 2 Meritorious Award Service Medals, 7 Army Commendation Medals, 7 Army Achievement Medals, 6 Army Good Conduct Medals, Honorable Order of St. Barbara, Illinois Lincoln Medal of Freedom, Combat Action Badge, Space Badge, Iraq Campaign Medal with 2 stars, Meritorious Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal, German Armed Forces Badge for Military Proficiency in Gold, and German Marksmanship Badge in Gold. Here is my dad, Master Sergeant Craig Davis, retired.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen and students. I know everyone is wondering who the handsome guy up here is. His name is Duke. He's 3 years old. He's a yellow lab. He's my service dog and my buddy. He was given to me by Soldiers and Dogs, ran by Gary Shuck out of Assumption. Gary, his wife Rosie, daughters Trisha and Mandy, and Lieutenant Dan are here today. For continued dedication to veterans, I would appreciate it if we could give them a round of applause. I would first like to once again give a massive thank you to all the veterans that are present for today's ceremony. I would also like to thank Ms. Sigmiller for allowing me to speak today. I've done a lot of events, but having my daughter read my bio is definitely moving to the top of my list. I know when she was reading my bio, some of you may have picked up that I grew up and graduated from Sullivan. I was hoping there wouldn't be any booing, and I knew how good a student you were and that there wasn't going to be. But don't worry, since we've been back home, we've definitely become all things Knights. Congrats to Knights football, as I know you beat them Redskins in the regular season, just beat Cumberland this last weekend, and let's stomp Westville next. Throughout the years, I've had several people ask me about Veterans Day. I've never been the smartest person in the room or claimed to be, and I keep things pretty simple. So this is what Veterans Day is for me. It's a day that I get to celebrate with the men and women, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, friends that became family, and those that have donned a military uniform. It's a day that I get to celebrate with my amazing, lovely wife who served and my father who served and retired from the United States Army. It's a day that I get to talk with friends from the military, and no matter if it's been a year since we last talked, we're going to talk like it was just yesterday. It is a day that brings joy to many of us, as it brings back some memories of the good times, and yes, some of the bad times. But we may text, FaceTime, call each other, but we know on this day that we will talk, tell each other we miss them, and tell them we miss the times we had together. It is a day that my family also often gets to talk with other friends from the military that became family. We get to see how each other's kids are doing, not just in school, but in life. What this day is for me, it's not a day of sorrow. That's not what Veterans Day is about for me. It's a day about celebration
of service for those that chose to defend this great nation that is like no other. It's a day to be proud as a service member, take pride in our country and what each and every one of you has done and accomplished. I encourage each and every one of you to take the time to reach out to a veteran. It doesn't matter if it's a family member, a friend, or just writing a veteran a letter, whether they're stateside or deployed. Ask them a story that made them laugh or made them happy. You might get a story like when your wife has to call you on a cell phone because you're not answering radio calls from the bosses because someone told you that a SUSV, which is a tracked military vehicle, can float. You didn't believe them, so you find a creek and test it when you were supposed to be at a very important meeting at that time. And yes, it turns out that vehicle could float. I was wrong. Ask what they miss most about their service to our country. For me, I miss my brothers, my sisters, and the camaraderie we had. I know it is customary to say thank you to a veteran, and we live in a community that astonishes me with their love and dedication to our veterans. On top of saying thank you, try to spend 5 minutes or more with a veteran. It could be a memory that both you and the veteran take for a lifetime. I love Veterans Day and will cherish this day each and every year that I'm on this earth. Now, if it's okay with everyone in attendance, I'm going to direct the next part of this speech a little more to the students. In my bio, you heard Alyssa tell you I helped to create and implement tactics for the defense of our nation against incoming nuclear missiles or ballistic missiles. Believe me, I never thought a boy from Central Illinois would do that either. However, to get there, it took a lot of determination, a lot of work, schooling, and training. We spent hours upon hours studying, practicing, testing, training, and running scenario after scenario until we became a master of our craft. I had some great instructors, some not so great instructors, some absolutely amazing mentors, and some not so much. Both helped me along the way and helped me to get to a place I never thought would be possible. This school has amazing staff and teachers. It has amazed me how it just seems to get better and better each year my children go to school here. Let your teachers challenge you and educate you to get to the levels you didn't think were possible. And no matter what, continue your education after high school. I highly encourage all of you to go to college, get a degree, or go to a technical school and get a certificate. I know a lot of veterans that will agree with me. If you join the military, it is not nor should it be an excuse to stop your education. Not all of my career was about missile defense, though. I had the honor of serving in several roles that challenged me in different ways. I started out as a military police officer, where I learned the importance of leadership, responsibility, protecting others, even in the toughest circumstances and overseas. I also served as an Avenger crew member, operating air defense systems designed to protect from aerial threats. Towards the end of my career, I took on the most challenging role, which was operations non-commissioned officer in charge of the battalion, where I planned missions, mentored younger soldiers, and made sure everything ran smoothly behind the scenes. I helped to start a rotational force to remote Alaska, as well as implemented counter-UAS into our day-to-day operations and schooling. Each of these positions, none not more important than the other, pushed me to learn new skills, adapt to new environments, lead by example, and to trust my mentors who continued to teach me up until the day I retired. All of that required discipline, not just physical, but mental. Our passing grade was 90%. Anything less was considered mission failure. It took long nights of studying, repeating scenarios, learning from both successes and mistakes, just like college will for some of you that are graduating, just like high school will for some that are going to be there soon. Failure is not an excuse to quit, but a reason to make it become a success and change the outcome. Work the problem, never quit, never accept defeat. Students, you may not realize it yet, but the habits and effort you put in right now, you're studying, you're practicing, being a member of a team, and persevering, are shaping who you will become. Whether your path leads you to college, a trade, the military, or somewhere completely different, remember that character, courage, and compassion are what truly defines success. To my fellow veterans, thank you for your service, your sacrifice, and your continued example of strength and resilience. You remind this country of what dedication really looks like. I want to leave everyone with this. Service doesn't stop when the uniform comes off. Every one of us, whether we wore the uniform or not, has the power to serve others through kindness, leadership, hard work, or simply showing up for people around us. This has been one of my favorite quotes since I've read it and throughout my military career. In the beginning of change, the patriot is a scarce man, and brave, and hated, and scorned. When his cause succeeds, the timid join him, for then it costs nothing to be a patriot. Mark Twain. Thank you all so much for allowing me to share this day with you. Happy Veterans Day to all, and go Knights.
Please join me in another moment of silence. Thank you. The bugle call of taps is sounded at funerals, memorial service, and wreath-laying ceremonies. It is also the last call played at military bases in the evening. The call consists of 24 notes sounded on a bugle or trumpet. For memorial services or special events such as ours, taps is usually sounded towards the end of the service and before we retire the colors. It is proper for us to stand and be respectful during taps with our right hand over our heart. Please remain standing for the retiring of the colors.
About face. Forward, march. Retreat. Notice. Left, face. Forward, march. Breathe and arms. Forward, arms. Right, face. Forward, march.
You may be seated. Thank you to all of our veterans who are willing to put their lives on the line to protect the safety and freedoms of each and every one of us here today. We owe you a debt of gratitude that can never truly be repaid. Students, thank you for the time and effort you've put into honoring our veterans. Your participation helps keep their legacy alive. As we leave here today, let us remember that we are blessed to live in the greatest nation on earth. Let us never take that for granted, for freedom is not free.
That concludes our program nights, specifically high school nights. If you have a veteran that you want to thank in the crowd, you may come down to do that, and in just a couple of minutes we'll dismiss. So elementary, just hang. If you have someone you want to thank, you also are welcome to do that.
No, I'm the principal.